Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Louie. Today we're discussing something near and dear to my heart, homesickness. Specifically, why we Africans abroad are basically walking, talking embodiments of the word. Look, I love exploring the world, but man, there's nothing quite like home. Let's be real, family is everything in African culture. We're talking about family reunions that make Coachella look like a sad trombone solo. Aunties you've never met, cousins twice removed, that one uncle who always shows up in a tracksuit. It's a beautiful, chaotic mess. And when you're used to that level of constant love and support, being away from it can feel like trying to survive a blizzard in your underwear. You miss the laughter, the stories, the way your grandma can shut down an argument with just one look. Okay, let's talk about the real reason we're all here. The food. Look, I'm not saying other countries don't have good food, but African cuisine, that's a spiritual experience. We're talking about flavors that slap you in the face and then hug you afterwards. And don't even get me started on the jollof rice. Listen, I don't want to start a war in the comments section, but we all know whose jollof rice reigns supreme. When you're abroad, you crave that taste of home. You try to recreate it, but it's never quite the same. Now, I'm not one for big crowds, but there's something about African festivals that just hits different. It's like the entire continent decided to throw a party and everyone's invited. The music, the dancing, the colors, the energy. These festivals are more than just a good time. They're a celebration of our heritage, our traditions, our shared history. So when you're living abroad and you see those Instagram posts of your friends and family back home, the FOMO is real. Let's talk about the weather, baby. When you grow up in Africa, you get used to a certain kind of climate. The kind where the sun is basically your personal space heater. Even when it rains, it's usually a warm, comforting rain that makes everything smell like life itself. So when you move to a place where the sun is basically a mythical creature that only appears for 3 days in July, it can mess with you. You find yourself missing the feeling of the sun on your skin, the way the air feels thick and alive, and don't even get me started on the snow. You ever try to explain a joke in a language that's not your native tongue? Yeah, it's not pretty. Language is more than just words. It's a way of thinking, a way of seeing the world. When you're surrounded by people who speak your language, there's a level of understanding that goes beyond words. You can communicate with a look, a gesture, a shared sigh. But when you're living abroad, you often find yourself struggling to express yourself. You miss the nuances of your language, the way certain words just roll off your tongue. And most of all, you miss the sound of your loved ones' voices, speaking the language that feels like home. In Africa, music and dance aren't just forms of entertainment, they're woven into the very fabric of our being. From the drums that echo through the savannah to the melodies passed down through generations, music is the heartbeat of our culture. So when you're living abroad, you miss that feeling of the music moving through you, of your body instinctively knowing how to move to the beat. It's like trying to quench your thirst with lukewarm water when what you really crave is a tall glass of freshly squeezed mango juice. One of the things that makes Africa so special is our sense of community. We believe in Ubuntu, the philosophy that we are all connected, that we are all responsible for each other. It's the reason why you can walk into a stranger's house and be greeted like family. This sense of community, of belonging, is something that's hard to find anywhere else. When you're living abroad, you might be surrounded by people, but you can still feel incredibly alone. So there you have it, my friends. The top 7 reasons why Africans abroad are always homesick. Living abroad can be an amazing experience. It broadens your horizons, challenges your assumptions, and introduces you to new cultures and perspectives. But at the end of the day, there's no place quite like home. It's where our hearts are, where our families are, where the food is always fire. Thanks for watching. We'd love to have you join our community by subscribing.